ahead and get started. So we'll give, I'll start a little slowly so people have another, another minute or so to sign in and catch up. But let's kick things off. I am Morgan Science. I'm the Senior Product Education Manager here at Jotform. I'm very happy to have you all here with us today for nonprofit AI tools and tips that drive donations. Whether your organization has always relied heavily on donations or you're finding yourself increasingly more reliant on donations to make up for government funding cuts, external funding is crucial to many nonprofits, and communication is key to engaging with potential and recurring donors. AI can be an essential part of your communication strategy if you know how to use it effectively. And today we'll be showing you exactly how to do that. I'm very excited today to be joined by two guests. First, my colleague Jessica Burnett-Lemon, our nonprofit content writer, will be talking about Jotform's AI agents and how they enable 24/7 support for questions, donations, and more. And we are also joined today by Andy Crestodina, Chief Marketing Officer at Orbit Media. Andy is going to speak about how to craft emotionally resonant messaging and break free from the generic AI tone of voice that we're all pretty used to these days. Now, before I turn things over to Jessica, I do want to just do some quick housekeeping. The console that you see in front of you can be customized to your liking, so you can move things around however you like so that you can focus on what you most want to focus on today. That's not affecting anybody else's experience of the platform. If you have any questions at any time, you can enter them in the question box underneath the slides. I know some of you have already found that box weighing in on where you're coming from, so thank you for that. My colleague Lauren is also on the line along with me today answering questions behind the scenes. So if you have questions at any point, do feel free to share those. We may have a little bit of time at the end to go through some of the more popular questions, but otherwise, Lauren and I are here and we'll answer you however we can. I also want to call attention to the resources that you'll see to the right of our presenters today. That includes a link to Jessica's slides, Andy's slides, a couple of Jotform nonprofit use cases, and a link to Andy's organization's website. And then finally, if you are inspired today and you'd like to speak with a member of our Jotform Enterprise team, there is a calendar widget on the lower right. You can click that at any time to speak with somebody on our team. Last thing I want to mention is that we are recording today. You'll be able to watch that recording as many times as you'd like. The resources will also be included with that. That usually comes out just almost exactly 24 hours after the session. So stay tuned for that. Feel free to share that and rewatch again as much as you'd like. So rest assured, if you miss anything today, you'll be able to check it out again. And on that note, I'm going to pass things over to Jessica to kick off the first part of our session. Jessica?
Thank you so much, Morgan. Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica. I'm a content marketer here at Jotform. And before we get started with Andy's presentation, I wanted to talk a little bit about a way to use AI in fundraising with Jotform. So you may know Jotform primarily as an online form and workflow automation tool, but you might not be as familiar with another product of ours that we launched just last year, which is Jotform AI Agents. Jotform AI Agents are AI-powered digital assistants that can answer questions, accept donations, and guide people through filling forms and other processes. So instead of having someone fill out an online form, an AI agent can collect information from them through a real-time conversation. You can train agents to operate as sort of autonomous customer support tools that are available 24/7. And you can customize them to match your unique brand and voice. And you can train the agents on information from your organization so that they can respond to questions with the relevant information. So AI agents were designed with a few key features in mind. First of all, that they are easy to create and to maintain. So they don't require any coding knowledge to set up or customize. Again, they're focused on conversational data collection. So they can be a little bit more flexible and approachable way to collect data from people, including donations. And they have this conditional logic that you can use to guide agents' actions. So, for example, if a user says this, the agent can be trained to take a certain action. And they're available through a number of channels. So you can have an agent serve as a chatbot on your website. as a standalone agent through a link. You can have a phone agent. And they're also available through a number of integrations that we have with platforms like Instagram, WhatsApp, Salesforce, and many others. And finally, they also have multilingual support, so you can have your agent interact with people in over 20 languages. So for nonprofit fundraising teams in particular, AI agents can be used to answer those routine donation questions that come up a lot. So for example, if you're a food bank and you want to train your agent on answering questions about what types of donation items you accept and where to drop them off, you can give it that information and it can answer those questions automatically so you don't have to. They can also process monetary donations, and they do that by you tie the agent to an online form that has a payment processor enabled, and it can guide people through the process of making a donation. And I'll demonstrate that in just a little bit here. You can register people for fundraising events, and the agent can answer questions about that event, like give directions to the venue. You can sign up volunteers and walk them through processes like signing waivers, schedule appointments, and then automate workflows on the back end, like directing people to certain staff members if they have particular questions. So some of the key benefits for our nonprofits, obviously, is the time saved. So when you're not having to answer a lot of those routine questions, you can focus more on high impact work, more strategic work like relationship building and donor cultivation. You can also respond more quickly to donors and constituents. So instead of them sending an email, asking a question, they can get an instant response 24/7. You can also automate workflows so that you're collecting data more consistently, and you also get a rich source of data from those conversations with agents so you can see what questions people have, and you can tailor your communication to answer those questions. So I wanted to do a quick demo here just to show you what this looks like. So I'll share my screen. All good? Okay, so we are now in the back end of Jotform. This is my workspace, and we'll have a list of all of my assets here. I have a couple of donation forms that are already enabled to process payments. And then I have Alicia, who is our AI fundraising coordinator. So if I go in to edit the agent, this will open the AI agent builder. So all of this is customizable. Here in the build tab, you can change the look and feel of the agent. You can choose from different avatars. We have a number of different ones here. You can generate your own or upload an image. You can also change the style, change the color scheme to match your brand. And then once you're ready to share your agent, if you go over to the Publish tab, you'll see all of the different ways that you can do that. So you can have it be a chatbot that appears on your website. You can have a standalone agent that is just available through a web link, so you can add that to your social media, for example. You can have a phone agent that's available at a particular phone number. And then we have a number of other integrations there where you can add your agent. But maybe the most important tab here is the Train tab, and this is where you give the agent the information it will need to answer questions. So you can add it through the knowledge base here. You can add it through text, maybe put in your organization's mission, that kind of thing. You can upload a file or add a link, and then the agent can crawl that link periodically to give the most up-to-date information. You can add Q&As here. But because this is a fundraising coordinator, we want to be sure that she can collect good donations. So to do that, I'm going to connect her to an existing donation form that I have. And please pay no attention to the warning sign here. This is just for demonstration purposes, so we don't have a live account going. But we are here in the forms. I will connect this to the quick donation form. And then if I go under actions here, we have a number of conditional logic options here. So I can set the agent to, when a user wants to make a donation, for example, the agent will start filling out, helping the user fill out this quick donation form. So once we save that, I'll move over to preview our agent here. So this is what she would look like as a standalone agent. And if I initiate a chat here, she's here to help me with fundraising. Let's say I just want to go ahead and make a donation. And these buttons also are customizable. You can guide people to a number of different resources if you want to do that.
Jessica, I think your audio cut out. Oh, maybe we lost Jessica for a minute there. Let's we'll give this another second there. Apologies for any for the tech issues. It's always fun to do things live. I'm going to give Jessica another minute or so to reconnect, and I know she's pretty close to done with the demo, so if she can't get back soon, then we'll pass things over to Andy. But let's give Jessica another 30 seconds here. And thank you all again for your patience with that. Okay, well, I'm gonna pass things over to Andy. I do want to mention again that Jessica, I know, was pretty close to done with this demo, and this was a fairly brief demo overall, but I do know that we've also gotten some questions already about language support and a few other questions about AI agents. So I did want to mention that we have an AI agent training every other week. So if you are interested in learning more about Jotform's AI agents, I would be happy to get you signed up for that. Just drop your email in the Q&A. I will send you a link to that. And that is a full-fledged, in-depth demo, plenty of time for questions. And yeah, a very, very helpful resource. I also wanted to mention Jessica was using a Jotform Enterprise instance for that demo. And that our enterprise accounts are those that are meant for to be used collaboratively for full organizations. But we do also have individual Jotform plans available. I know that many of the people who signed up today are brand new to Jotform. So if you'd like to get started for free, you can sign up at jotform.com. You have full access to the platform, including AI agents with the free account. So you can sign up, start playing around, check it out, and test the agent out on your own if that's something that you're interested in. And at this point, I guess I will pass things over to Andy a little bit earlier than planned, but it is my pleasure to introduce Andy Crestodina. Again, Andy is the co-founder and CMO of Orbit Media. He has over 25 years of experience providing digital marketing advice to over 1,000 organizations. You can read his full bio below. And again, we do have a link to Orbit Media's site in the resources. But suffice it to say, Andy is an expert in marketing strategy. We are delighted to have him here with us. So Andy, I'm going to pass things over to you. I know you have a lot to share. Thank you again for being here and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you for having me. Honored to be here and excited to teach. I love these topics. I'm going to share a perspective on content and conversion, as in attraction, engagement, and fundraising, specific to nonprofits. This is totally about nonprofits and all these methods. Some of them have direct impact on revenue and on donations, and others, but we're going to start at the top of the funnel. So I'm going to share my screen. We'll do this right over here, and I'll go into presentation mode and hide this little message. Okay, so Morgan, you can see that okay? Look good?
Yes, everything looks great.
We soldier on. This is, I think we're going to cover all this. If I don't, if I move past one of these, you've got the deck. And if you just open it and look at it in presentation mode, many of these methods are very prescriptive. But I want to start with the point of view and why I use AI. In my experience, and I'm inside literally hundreds, more than 500 Google Analytics accounts, and I've spent decades reviewing marketing performance. And this is always seems to be true. A tiny percentage of things get the best results. Only a tiny percentage of brands are top of mind. Only a tiny percentage of URLs rank really high in Google. Only a tiny percentage of social posts go viral. A tiny percentage of influencers get most of the engagement. A tiny percentage of pages on your site get most of the traffic. Every report in digital is an exponential curve. Therefore, my obsession is in creating more of these outsized performers. It's about performance. Efficiency is good. I want to be efficient. I don't want to waste time. But that's not really why I open an AI tool. It's to try to make things that work harder. It's to try to make things better. It's to try to get better results, measurable impact. So yes, that's my point of view. I'm going to stick with that. That's my whole ethos of all this new tech. It's about quality and performance. Efficiency will come, but it's not really my primary goal. We do a big survey every year. Traditionally, it was 1,000 marketers respond to these 20 questions, and we ask questions about AI. And the biggest concerns about AI are accuracy, lack of originality, and brand voice inconsistency. Valid. Totally get it. But when we also ask how people are using it, the most common use cases for AI, this was last fall. We repeat this survey every year. We've done it for 12 years. People are mostly using it to get ideas and to suggest edits. I'm going to do that too. That's how I'm going to use AI, to drive performance through audits, through research and audits. To anything that you're sending, anything you're making public, anything you're pushing into the market or making live is may have gaps that could be discovered through prompts and AI tools. So I'm going to start at the top and just with a brand building piece or something you send or anything that you publish in an article. My first nonprofit, I'm featuring several here, is Nourishing Hope. It's their mission is to eliminate hunger and poverty by providing food, mental health counseling, and social services. They published this article. Could this be a better article? Could this be a more engaging article? Could this do a better job of tugging at the heartstrings? What's a good article? What works well? Here's a list of things I've found to be successful and make a difference in content and push that article up the curve and for exponentially better performance. Opening hook. It's highly visual, supported with evidence. It's structured with lots of formatting. It's connected to other things. It has multiple points of view. It has an angle that's personal, and it's complete. It's detailed. It's not missing anything big. I want to create a prompt that will audit an article. Now, one of the big unlocks for AI-powered marketers is that they realize all at once that if AI is good at language, it's also good at the language of prompting. So mostly these days, I don't write prompts. I have AI help me write the prompts. It looks like this. The best articles in content marketing share these common traits. I just listed them. Write an article that I can use to write a prompt that I can use to audit articles. Your goal is to make a reusable prompt. And it comes back with a sort of like absurdly detailed prompt with tables in it. And it's got this visual scoring matrix, and it's got a section for missed opportunities. That's pretty good. Maybe it could be better. I continued the conversation. How could this be even stronger? What other criteria should I add? Great, add those to it. And by the way, I can't copy that whole weird thing in each time. Simplify the formatting, please. It comes back with this prompt. The prompts are in the deck. When you download the deck, you'll see them in the notes. When you see the prompt, you'll see the note in the notes, the prompt itself. You can copy and paste these. We're sharing everything. So this really just needs a screenshot of the article. I always use a screenshot because then it can look at the visuals and the visual hierarchy and the use of images. So it's going to, it basically says this is, these are the best practices for articles. Make me columns that score the article. I want a visual score, and then list the missed opportunities. A reusable prompt. Let's run it. This is what it shows. The opening hook probably could have been a bit stronger. Could have been more visual. We could have had more visuals to this piece. And the formatting, very good. It's got lots of subheads, and the paragraphs aren't too long, and it's easily scannable. That's critical. It's a key in performance of content. But the internal links, it doesn't really connect anything. In fact, this piece didn't link to their donation form. It's just kind of a dead end at the bottom. There was personal story, but what we wish more people understood, see the draft copy, it shows the remedy, and it got a high score for relevance because that's exactly their mission. This is a mission-focused piece. Here's a list of missed opportunities. I like these. I think this is a good tip. It's missing a supported pathway for a concrete impact. how you can help. Definitely, definitely. So if you were to take that and put it in your workflow, then and that just becomes part of your process. You're still humans. You're still writing everything in brand voice. You're still involved as an expert professional marketer. I'm not trying to replace anybody here. I just want us to all get better results. And that prompt can go into a shared prompt library. So here's a screenshot of my shared prompt library. Looks like I should update it. I update this all the time. I should update the screenshot. But this is where I store prompts. Anyone on the team can grab them. It's codified institutional knowledge and content performance experience in chunks of language that can be used in workflows. Next, very briefly, the content strategy, the content marketing mission statement, that short statement that says what you publish and who you publish it for. Specifically, it's three things: your target audience, what your topics, and the reason they should pay attention. I'm going to do that now for this nonprofit, the Pat Tillman Foundation. They support the next generation of military leaders through scholarships and leadership development. Super cool group. Would love to see them get better results. This is what the top of their, this is kind of a summary of their content mission. It's not that specific, elevates voices. I think that maybe could be stronger. So here's a prompt for auditing content mission statements. I added to this prompt a little piece where it's going to create new calls to action to subscribe. Every marketer I know is obsessed with email list growth because that decouples your destiny from search and social traffic. Email is opt-in. I mean, you can send it to them directly. You're disintermediated big tech. You don't have to rely on algorithms. That's why we love email lists. So we tell it basically about our brand, and then we give it the best practices. Again, you have to tell it what good looks like. And then at the bottom, I wanted to generate these email signups. Give me some email signup calls to action. Let's run the prompt. Okay, the mission statement looks quite good to me. Clear evidence-backed stories, updates on scholars, outcomes they're driving, how to support through scholarships and lifelong leadership development. Check out this call to action. Get monthly snapshot of the Tillman Scholar impact, stories, outcome, and where your support would go. This might be even better. Join the people, right? Enrollment, like involvement, who believe service beyond self means building leaders after the uniform. Subscribe for stories of progress that we're proud to share. Now, subjectively, right? Any of us could look at that and say, is that better? Definitely better than status quo for a lot of websites. I never want to see these again, but they're everywhere on the web. Sign up for email sign up, submit. That is not a call to action. If you don't tell people what they're going to get, why would they subscribe? Marketing pro tip: make a promise. It does wonders. Now, you could keep improving that and extend that conversation. Good start. Make me 5 more. It's inexhaustible. It will make you 5 more. List 10 topics that align with this. Now you're doing brainstorming and ideation. What false things does this audience think might be true? Now you can do some challenger content, right? Some thought leadership. What counter narrative perspectives fit into this mission? Take a stand, right? Emotional resonance. And then, hey, you're a social strategist. You're skilled at finding topics. Suggest 10 topics that would drive social engagement based on this. So you can see this becomes kind of a foundational element that you could easily use. Love this. You get the idea. I'm using AI to audit the things that I'm already doing, but may not yet be high performers. Another classic example as we kind of move through this funnel, the fundraising email. Could that be better? Could it be stronger? Could it miss something? Could it trigger another emotion, or use better supportive evidence, or make a closer personal connection? It was fun. I got to pick nonprofits. I'm like a bleeding heart person, especially these days, right? Like I just want to support everybody. So I got to pick some Cradles to Crayons. They help 20 million kids across the US who don't have access to affordable, appropriate clothing. They provide children who are homeless or have low income with the essentials for school. We're trying to keep kids going to school, and they can't or don't want to go to school if they don't have appropriate clothes. So here's a fundraising email, an actual fundraising email. This is from my inbox. I'm a supporter. So would the donor click? Is that going to work? Is it missing anything? Could it work harder? What is a good fundraising email? Emotional connection, impact clarity, trust, reasons to take action today. A clear path with low friction. It's easily scannable. Remember the structure, it's highly formatted, and it connects with this audience, the persona. I am doing things in reverse order. You're going to hear me talk about personas more in a second, but this is just, but I'm going to show you how I'm using it in this one. If you give a screenshot of the email and upload the persona, we'll make one in 1 minute, along with a prompt for auditing fundraising emails. Fundraising emails have these attributes. They tend to align in these ways. And this is all about my audience, right? You told it about your audience. You may have personas. Get them out of the drawer. They're sitting in a folder. This is the moment when you can use them. It's like data-driven empathy. You can connect. You have a simulated member of your target audience that you can talk to day or night and give to the AI with an asset and an audit prompt to see what might have been missing. So again, the whole in the notes of the deck, this audit prompt is there. It's for validating or checking. Even if you're great, even if it's strong, you can at least just get another point of view. So it's going to come back and tell me about missed opportunities, high impact improvements. It's going to make a little table for those. And when we run it, here we go. Step one, it audits the subject line in pre-header text. The pre-header is this small text that appears at the first line. It appears in the inbox. It has a lot to do with open rates. Open rates are really only affected by three things: the sender name, the subject line, and the pre-header text. I'm assuming, timing you could say as well, deliverability you could say as well, but that's mostly the psychology of the visitor as they see the email. It's going to, and look, a lot of suggestions in there. You decide, choose your own adventure. It's up to you. But when it breaks down the persona alignment scale of 0 to 5, you could disagree with any of this. You should disregard any of this that is relevant or you've tested or not to be effective or you don't care about. But it's suggested we got a 3 out of 5 for emotional pull, a 2 out of 5 for impact clarity. It just mentions this a little bit. It doesn't make very tangible the specific outcomes. That you get a bag, they put together packages. What's in the package? How many packages would I be, is my impact? And then here are the missed opportunities. And look, it actually has quite prescriptive recommendations. And one more prompt and you're going to have it, give you sample draft copy that you can ruthlessly edit and decide whether or not to add. We are all staying involved here. Side by side, what do you think? It's actually kind of hard to see side by side. Greetings and Happy New Year, Andrew. Maya didn't want to go to school. I'm going to zoom in on this. Maya didn't want to go to school. Her clothes were, so see that opening? Which do you think hits harder, right? You want to start with a right hook. That was my left hand, right hook. Her clothes were worn and thin. Teasing had gotten worse. I almost feel emotional just reading this copy right here. The girl won't go to school. This is a true story. The girl won't go to school because she doesn't like her clothes. Her mom they opened the package, they gave her the clothes. Maya put it on, looked in the mirror and said, okay, I'll go. I'm honestly getting emotional thinking about the impact of this organization. Let's all support Kratos to Crayons. But look at that email. I want to click it right now and it's in my deck. Okay, so that's the idea. Now you got a visitor. You have a potential donor, they clicked, but it's not over yet. Conversion and fundraising and donation, it's a chain. And a weak link in that chain hurts the last link, which is money. So I'm auditing each step, right? I've got them engaged. I've got they send them an email. They click. They land on a page. Is that donation page strong enough? Is it missing anything? Is it resonant? Now I'm on Garfield Park Conservatory. It's like it's a large botanic garden, like partly an indoor botanic garden, one of the largest conservatories in the nation. They envision a world, I'm reading this, where people embrace and honor the importance of nature. Love them, total tree hugger. Conservation's key. This is an amazing place. It's an educational center. There's like kids there every day. Welcome to their donation page. Now, just heuristically, any of us could look at this and say that could definitely, I've got some ideas. Is this page going to compel the click? Is it missing anything? There's more down below, but could this work harder? Now, at a glance, I think that probably this could work harder. Now, because I put it in here, I'm going to show you how to make a persona. This is the easiest, fastest, simplest way if you don't have battle-tested personas that you worked hard on for years. Even if you do, you could audit your personas with this. Build me a persona of a potential donor in a geography with a family or company or industry range with certain values or interests who makes decisions about giving. If they're looking to support a cause, you're going to put in your information here in these brackets. And they're talking about becoming a member, registering, volunteering, donating, whatever the page is about. So that's the story in their life. And this is why they would give. I want to know their hopes and dreams. I want to know their fears and concerns. I want to know their emotional triggers and their decision criteria for giving to a nonprofit. This, and here I'll run it. There's the donor, there's the persona prompt. And what it gives back to me won't be perfect. It will need improvement. It's not, how would it be perfect? You know your audience better than AI does. AI has never been to the gala. AI has never talked to 100 donors. AI doesn't, isn't like a frontline, person with a decade of experience at this company or wherever you are. But it's not bad. I've done these hundreds of times, and my clients always say, that's pretty close. It's a civic-minded, engaged in cultural and family activities. They value local impact and broader social good. They want to support educational opportunities for children, for example. They want to foster family traditions, for example. And it lists their fears. They don't want their donation to be wasted. They don't want to feel transactional. They want to feel like they're part of a community. They love to see the children and families experiencing the awe of wonder, and they're triggered by stories, as I was a moment ago, measurable impact, and they want to feel recognition for civic pride. By the way, behind-the-scenes tours and member-only events are beloved by these people. For example, let's just say this is not my client. I'm doing this for fun, and it's I share this with them. I know the CEO. So this is why they make donations and how we're going to compel them to. Clear reporting, evidence, opportunities for families, opportunities to network and participate. Okay, now let's say the donor, let's say it's good. I've got more slides in here you can scan through. It'll make one for you. Let's say it's good. Next, I'm going to give it that full page screenshot of the page. Let me rewind that. The way to get a full page screenshot is with a free browser plugin, Chrome extension, you could say, called Go Full Page or Awesome Screenshot. And all you do is click that button and it like chomps on the whole page and makes it a separate file that you can download to your desktop and then drag it into the next prompt. This is a donor page audit prompt. Again, audits. Like, you know what you're doing. This is just going to help you give you some ideas on doing it better. It's got a color-coded heat map again. It's got a list of business opportunities again. I give it the screenshots. I give it the donor, and here's the prompt. What does it say? Clarity of impact? 3 out of 5. Add a your gift at work section. Great idea. Transparency and trust. 3 out of 5. Add annual report highlights, percentage of funds for programs. Right? You can just you can see, and as we scroll down, recognition and belonging. 2 out of 5. Donor wall, special events, thank you experiences, and urgency. Could have done better. Help us fund 100 more field trips this year. When specificity correlates with conversion, which in this case is fundraising. Okay, so it made a heat map. I haven't made color-coded heat maps because if you're like me, you have to go to meetings. If you're going to a meeting, bring a chart. Everyone's going to listen to you. Don't go to meetings without charts. This is not really a chart, but the colors are very triggering, and it's going to unlock the budget that you need to go make this investment in training or copywriting or an AI agent, the Jotform AI agent, right? That can answer questions for people. By the way, a lot of these insights you can use to train that Jotform agent. A lot of the interactions people have in the agent, if you pull them out, you can use those to train to make a better donor. We're going to iterate on these things and make them smarter by using the agent as a listening tool. Lots of missed opportunities. This is specificity, $100 funds hands-on learning for 25 students, whatever the case. It's examples. I don't know if this is accurate. I'm sure it's not accurate. You don't need it to be accurate. You know what to do. It's just giving you the idea for things to include. AI-powered persona gap analysis for key steps in the conversion process. That's the point. I'll say it again. AI-powered persona-driven gap analysis for key steps in the fundraising process. So you get the idea. Here's a quote. That field trip was unforgettable. One last quick method, and I'll hand it back to Jessica. I think we're making pretty good time. Morgan, we were so worried. Hope I didn't go too fast. We're recording this. Go back, play it again. The donation form, the last link in the chain. Everything else works perfectly. The form doesn't work well. That makes everything in the previous links of this chain less effective. You need more clicks if the process is confusing or if there's friction or people, there's not a clear path. I'll give you an example. This is Open Lands. It's a conservation group. I love them. will always be a member and donor to Open Lands. They buy huge chunks of land and just make it wild, like rewilding places that are disinvested and restoring wetlands. I love this group. You're getting to know me a little bit here. You can see my values. I want to support veterans. I want to support the environment. I want to support children. I want to support education. Okay, so as we go down, there's a field here, the phone number field. Let's tap it. Oops, the alphabetical keyboard? That's not the right field for that. Forms matter. It makes a difference. This person, it's a fleeting moment maybe when they're just like that excited or they were that touched to take an action. And they may be multitasking anyway. This thing better be super simple or you're going to hurt performance. So you got to take out all the unnecessary fields. You got to have the right keyboards for the forms for mobile. You got to have phone numbers that are tappable and clear expectations about what happens next. I'm going to audit a form on a page. This is Lurie Children's Hospital. I'm an advisor to this. It's a really important place where they save kids' lives, literally, every day. How's this form working? Any ideas? I'm going to save this page as HTML. This is the only way to really do this. If I give AI the HTML page, it can analyze the keyboards and the tappable phone numbers. This is a weird kind of, I don't know if it feels technical. It's really not. You could do this on your phone, but why not just give it this prompt? So this prompt is for auditing mobile forms and for the user intent for the page. And then I want you to analyze each of the fields and make sure that the keyboard aligns with the expectations of the user. And in the end, we're going to make sure that we're going to remove mobile friction, right? Is autocomplete available for each? Is the phone number tappable? That kind of stuff. So it's going to come back and do a mini audit of the. You don't need anything. You don't need a persona for this. This is just usability and friction. So just download the HTML, copy and paste that prompt, drop it in, and make sure that in the moment of truth, the final click, that there's nothing stopping them. Oops, we failed on one pass fail. It's a pass fail report. We failed on the gift amount. Wrong keyboard. Bummer. That's not. And I didn't have to go test this or try this or see it on 11 devices. It's just looking at the code to see if there's a mismatch. The phone numbers doesn't tap to dial. Look, it's just text. Just add the TEL : in front of it, and it becomes a tappable phone number. If that works, if all this works, where do you see it? You see it in the path exploration in Google Analytics. This is the report. Kind of annoying. Analytics is a challenging tool for a lot of marketers. But the click-through rate and the path flow from the donation to the thank you page, or whatever the subsequent page is your conversion rate from that one URL. That's a 97% drop-off on this site. That is a lot of missed dollars. So I love that. I love that a lot. I think that there is, but that the opportunity that Jessica discussed, I want to just cover that here briefly again, because I think this is the future of digital. People are going to begin to expect. User expectations are changing. So here's the back end of an agent that is interacting with an audience. It's this widget, right? It's this little tool that just goes on the site, and she already showed how you connect it. So the person's interacting with it on the site, and it can take money. These agents can process, by integration with the form, process the donation right there. So a lot of marketers discovered many years ago that when you increase opportunities to convert, you increase the conversion rate. Conversion being the percentage. A conversion is when the noun you'd use for your person changed. They were a visitor, now they're a donor. They were a visitor, now they're an applicant. They were a visitor, now a registrant. We all converted to be here. They were a visitor, now they're a lead. So they convert. So they can convert from within that. Makes perfect sense that this is where the industry is going. Thank you, Jotform, for innovating. I think this is important value add. And on the back end, what it looks like is this. So you can actually see, you can interact. Like this is the conversation that's happening. And because that's captured, you can take the insights out of this, improve your audits, look at your pages and calls to action and content and usability, and then address any concerns. I would not be a bit surprised if some of the interactions within the agent are, I can't find this. Now you know exactly what to do. This was hard. Now you know exactly what to fix. So there are precious few places in digital where the person is literally telling you what they want from you, and chatbots are one of them. So this is actually literally like screen by screen, the interactions you can see. These are all different conversations. And this is what the AI agent said, day or night, 24 hours, 500 people at once or just one, how it's having that conversation for you. And in the end here, like you can, this is actually, it's able to send an email to the user if that made sense. So I just showed you several methods for auditing articles, email sign-up calls to action and content strategies, fundraising emails, the donation page, even forms. Now, what else could you do? This tiny session, this little time we had together, hopefully was an example of a type of thinking that you can apply all over the world. Anything that you do. Print, direct response copywriting, your mailer, your content calendar, all of your pages. It's just a point of view. And you as the expert can then decide. But what shouldn't you use personas and audit prompts to check? I can't think of anything. Why wouldn't you do that? Because you can just, if nothing else, it will just give you some ideas. One last thing, back to our survey. Every year we ask people if they get strong results from digital, and last year it was 21% said that yes. Who doesn't get that great a percentage? People who do not use AI at all, and people who use it for everything. Literally, like people who drank all the Kool-Aid and try to replace themselves and forget about brand voice and all I care about is speed. Lower than expected results. And the laggards, the detractors, the people who are, for whatever reason, there's perhaps even valid reasons. But if your job is to support the mission of your organization, I don't think we can set these tools aside. So what I did the whole time, everything I just did was not really about finding efficiencies. I'm looking for deficiencies. If I can go fix those, I know I will have, in many cases, just better results forever after. Right? Some of these things were part of an experience where the improvement will be durable and that change is going to maximize engagement. I mean, you're never going to go back and make a worse donor page, right? So those are the kinds of updates and optimization efforts that I love most because they can have very long-term durable benefits and in this case, for this group, very special to me, we're all mission-based, and very special to me, this is bottom line focused. So Morgan said it up front, these are challenging times for many reasons, policy and politics perhaps, but other reasons also. This is my attempt to give the most value in the shortest time to a group like this. So I will pause there and come back. The only last thing was me kind of plugging the nonprofits I mentioned. Those are in the deck in case you wanted to make a difference or get choked up looking at the Cradles to Crayons content. So Jessica, how do we do?
Well, before I welcome Jessica back, I will come back and wrap things up here. And Andy, I do want to thank you again. And Jessica is going to come back on and finish up the demo since we do have a few more minutes. Before I pass things over to her again, I wanted to thank Andy. Andy, I learned a lot just that I can use in my everyday life as a marketer and in general. So thank you. I think, marketing is all about telling stories, and that's exactly what you were talking about here today. So I think you made me a better marketer, and I'm sure everybody else on the line agrees that there was a lot in there that we can all take away from that. So thank you. There are some more practical questions. So I know a couple people had some trouble accessing Andy's slides, so we will make sure that gets fixed. For those of you who had an issue and mentioned it in the Q&A, I'll follow up with those directly, but we will have it fixed before you get the link to the recording as well. So when you get the recording, you'll see the same kind of box you saw to enter the webinar button for that. It will bring you to a platform that is going to look very similar to what you're seeing here, and that will be fixed in the resources. I also want to mention, if anybody out there has any questions either with that or anything else related to today's session, you can always get in touch with me and Morgan at Jotform, and I'd be happy to help set you up there. I also wanted to mention just a plug for Jotform. Andy just talked a little bit toward the end there about how important forms are and getting your forms right. And forms are our bread and butter. So in addition to AI agents, we have form builder, data management. All of that is something that you can do in one single place with Jotform. So again, if you haven't checked us out, if you're new to Jotform, you can go to jotform.com and sign up for a free account and get a sense of everything that we have involved in the platform. The whole thing is customizable. You build just by dragging and dropping, so you can match branding, you can match your tone of voice with your agents, and more. And Andy, I had one question for you that I was thinking of as you were speaking. I had two questions, but one question, you just talked about people who aren't using AI at all and people who went too far into AI. And how those folks aren't seeing the same level of results overall as others. There is, I think, understandably, a lot of hesitation about AI. And I wondered if you had any advice for folks who maybe want to move forward on using some AI prompts and AI help like you've been talking about, but they're facing some backlash. Like, do you have any suggestions of examples that they can show or words they can use to persuade other people in their organization?
Yeah, I think that this is one of the biggest topics that I can remember. This is as big a change as we've ever seen. And in that moment, I think the proper perspective is mostly dispassionate. It's the opposite of tugging heartstrings in a fundraising email. If you feel sad or scared or overly excited, for example, if you're the one person in the friend group who says, AI can do that, AI can do that, you notice that every friend group has like one person who thinks AI is going to do everything. And then there's other people who are like, for philosophical reasons, I'm opposed to it.
Yeah.
These are emotions, and that's unhelpful to you in preparing for the next evolution of digital and work in general. So we should really just, anything that comes along, in any era, I've been reading a lot of history, and you go back hundreds of years, and you just have to stop and ask ourselves, how can I best position myself in the context of this technology? How can I best use this to drive business outcomes for whatever brand I'm trying to help today, agency or brand side or whoever you are, wherever you are, and then look for practical ways to use it. The goal is not to use AI, and the goal is to drive results, and any feelings you have around it are probably holding you back from adapting in the best possible way. 9 to 5, I'm here for results. 5 p.m., meet me. I'm going to order a bourbon, and we're going to dive into labor market impact and ethics and environment and all those other things. But day to day, what are we doing here? Why did I come to work today? Is one person, me, taking a stand on whether or not to prompt for this or that? Not important. What matters is the results, the people we're helping, the causes that we are standing behind. So set aside, try to see these things dispassionately, try to see these things practically, try to avoid the hype. I don't read any AI news. Don't read AI news. It's not helpful. Just learn from practitioners, keep experimenting, keep an open mind, and you won't feel blindsided as things continue to evolve. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think that's, it sounds like you're talking just about a little bit of a mindset switch and separating, the full discussion about AI from the practical work that you need to get done and the good work that so many nonprofits are doing. And that is, I think, it can be a tough thing to reconcile, but as you mentioned, a good way to move forward. I do have, there was one person had asked what platform you used for the examples that you shared today. It looked like maybe it was ChatGPT, but can you, is that,
that brings up this topic. I'm not really an evangelist for AI, and I'm not promoting any specific model or tool. I'm using ChatGPT because it's the most common, and it's just familiar to people. I don't have a bias toward one tool or another. I spend hundreds of hours experimenting with methods in these tools, and I often have two screens up at one time. trying it here, trying it there. There was something I was recently trying to do in ChatGPT that sort of didn't work. So I found out that Notebook LM, it worked beautifully. Notebook LM has some other UX limitations. Some people can only use Copilot. It really doesn't matter. I don't think it's that big a difference. Obviously, if you're a coder, Claude Code is going to be great, probably the leader for that. If you want to stay inside, if you've got legal reasons, you have to use Gemini or Copilot, fine, use that. Always use the latest model for wherever you are. Always leave it in thinking mode if you're doing work. But try them all. I don't know. I mean, if you can answer that question for yourself, for your content, your brand, your persona, target audience, goals, by just doing it in two. Just do it in both. These methods take minutes, so it's not. I don't think it's responsible for people to say like, this for that. They're all changing so fast anyway, and whichever tool gets you results is the right tool.
Yeah, I think experimenting there makes sense. Okay, so we have just a couple of minutes left. I do want to give Jessica just a few minutes here to do the portion of her demo that we didn't get to. And Jessica, are you here, and can you share your screen for that? I want to make sure that.
Let's see. 1 second.
And I will mention while Jessica's getting that set up, I especially wanted to make sure that we got to this because Jessica did start showing off the agent, but Andy had talked a little bit about accepting donations with the agent toward the end there. And I know that was one thing that Jessica wanted to show that unfortunately the technical issues prevented earlier. So I think that's Jessica's just going to pick up with the agent conversation and show you how an agent can help with processing payments. And then again, I do just quickly want to plug, if anybody wants to learn more about our AI agents, do just drop your email in the Q&A there, and we will, I will be happy to send you the link to sign up for that. And I do know we have a couple more questions out there that I don't think we're going to get to today. But again, I know Lauren is still here answering questions. Again, my email address is Morgan, MORGAN @Jotform. So whether you have questions for me or anyone else on the Jotform end or Andy, you're welcome to email me, and I can help route those or answer them. And Andy's contact information is in the bio section of the screen here. And again, you will receive the recording about this time tomorrow. So the full recording will be in there, and we'll get the slides. We'll make sure that you can get the slides and access all that as well. Okay, Jessica, we'll turn things over to you.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me and everything?
Yep.
Okay, great. So sharing my screen here. We'll just go back to the top of our demo here and ask Alicia to, let's do this as a preview. Ask her to make a donation, that we want to make a donation. She'll start loading the donation form. I will type in my name. Not sure how far I got on the last go around, so some of this may be a little repetitive, but there we go. And I'll just quickly share my email address. And then she'll ask what type of donation I want to make. I'm going to make a cash donation. You can set up the form on the back end to lead to any of these other options as well. In the donation form that's linked to this agent, we have a suggested donation amount of $40. So that's why she's bringing up that number. So I will say that I will donate the suggested amount. And then the last step here, I just need to click this review and submit button. So all of the information that I've entered in the chat is now entered into the donation form in the appropriate sections. The option for a cash donation of $40 is already pre-populated there, and I just need to enter my credit card information. Do that. And then click submit. and then the submission has been received. So when that happens, this is the donation has been accepted on the back end. The donor will receive a notification email about their donation, and the organization will also receive a notification that somebody has made a donation. So if I just click off here, I can see, as Andy noted, here's the conversations that Alicia has had, and you can see that I have made a donation, and then the form submission is also here. You can see the amount of $40, the payment information, and all of that. So that's how you can use a donation agent to collect donations through your website.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you especially for rolling with the punches. I know, again, doing things live is always fun. You never know if technology is going to hold out for you or not. So I appreciate you coming back on to finish that up for us. And yeah, so on that note, I just want to thank everybody for being here today. Again, I think there are some questions specifically for Andy, and maybe some for those of us on the Jotform team as well that we'll follow up on after the session. But again, I do just one last time want to give you my email, Morgan@Jotform. I am happy to answer any questions, share with you resources, connect you to Andy, connect you to other people at Jotform, whatever I can do to help support you. Again, also want to mention jotform.com for a free account if you'd like to check Jotform out. And otherwise, I want to thank you all for being here. We will have more nonprofit webinars coming soon. I think we have another one next month. I don't have the link to that just yet, but stay tuned for that. We love working with this audience. I love it's always such an engaged audience. So I really like speaking and working with nonprofits. We can tell Andy's passion for nonprofits, and I know Jessica and Lauren share that as well. So we love speaking with you. We're looking forward to the next session. Thank you all for being here. And again, one more time, I want to thank Jessica and Andy so much for your time today. You were both fantastic. And again, Andy, I learned so much from everything that you shared. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day. And again, you'll get the recording in about 24 hours. All right. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.